Hi everyone, welcome again to my channel. Well, further to me getting my Swytch kit without the battery obviously, I decided to fit it because fitting it, you don't have to sort of have the battery to do that, and you can still ride your Brompton regardless of the battery. So just a wee word about fitting the kit. It's not as easy as you may think. Now I'm pointing at the main culprit is the sensor disc. Although that's easy to fit, the bit that isn't is actually the sensor itself. Now the reason for that is you've got to sort of build it up quite a lot here. I put on, there's a bit of rubber here just at the back, a bit of a bike tube, and the two bits of rubber that they give you to space out, and then you've got to sort of tighten it up here and just get it just right so it's actually about maybe 2 or 3 millimeters away from the actual the metal parts of the actual disc itself. So it's when it's rotating, it's going to be just about where it should be. But I'm thinking now that when you're riding along, if it's not tight, which it should be, then it's going to wobble about, and I think that's where a lot of people's getting their problems. The actual little sensor here is sort of moving about slightly, so you've got to make sure you tighten this wee nut here, make sure it's really tight, or if not, this is going to actually move. Make sure your cable ties are also very tight. You don't want any movement here whatsoever, or what's going to happen, you won't have any sort of power. That seems to be the thing that I found the hardest thing to sort of align. Now I think possibly Swytch should do something about that in the future. Perhaps they should make one that would actually just fit the Brompton perfectly, rather than all this messing about. Now the other thing that's quite difficult to sort of do is to change this, because it's not as simple as just taking your wheel, taking the old tyre off, sticking it on the new wheel, which I've done. There's a wee bit more to it than that, because the spacers here are slightly different to the ones that's actually on the Brompton. Also the nut here, the nut's actually a 17mm, it's not a 15, so bear that in mind, because if you're sort of cycling along and you've only got your 15 spanner with you, then you're going to find that's not actually going to fit there at all. So you're going to basically, better to have, I would say, just carry along an adjustable spanner. So if you get a puncture on the rear, which is the 15, and along here at the front is now going to be the 17, then just carry an adjustable spanner with you at all times, just in case you do get a puncture. Now the rest of the kit, fairly straightforward to fit. Up here, that's the control box, and it's just a case of getting all your wires in right. Now make sure they do clip in right, because a lot of people, they don't get them, they're quite hard to push in sometimes, so you've got to make sure you just get them right. The connectors here, for instance, it's got to be pushed into the wee arrows, sort of a line up. If you don't do that, then you're going to have a wee bit of trouble with it. So make sure you get them pushed all the way home. There's not much else to it, as I say, apart from waiting on the battery coming. So folks, just a wee few tips there, just in case you are going to fit the kit yourselves and you're having trouble. Just bear in mind what I've said about it. It's not as easy as all that, but do take your time, and if you do take your time, I'm sure that you'll get there, because it's not sort of the hardest thing in the world, but then again, it's not the easiest. So once again folks, if you've liked this video, could you perhaps like and subscribe to my channel? That'd be great, and I'll try and get another video out just as soon as my battery arrives. I'll show you what it's like on the road, etc. I'll show you just what it's like from above as well, if I can show you some aerial footage of it, just especially at the sensor part, where I feel that's the sort of that's the culprit, that's the thing that's sort of stopping people most, because their sensors popping out of the wrong position, or it's maybe no spaced right, and therefore you're not getting your full enjoyment because it's maybe cutting out on you, etc. So until next time folks, if you could like and subscribe, that'd be brilliant, and we'll see you again in the next video. Bye bye for now. Cheers.